was also hit by the masked man. After all the people who entered the villa died, as the wheel turned, Sha Lu began to turn again. The curly girl was resurrected. The second name was written on the visitor's record. When everyone was resurrected again, the pain of death was still vivid. Everyone was stunned. What was more stunned was that Abu found 5 missing portraits on the wall, and the 5 of them appeared on the wall. A kind of fear of the dark. It made them want to get out of here as soon as possible. However, everything seemed to be too late. Looking at the door of the room being uncontrollably opened, Ajay hurriedly helped to find something to block the door. At this time, the curly girl found that Sha Lu was counting down again. The situation was also turned around in this matter. The Asian girl felt uncomfortable all over. When her companions came back to their senses, they found that the Asian girl had disappeared. At this time, the Asian girl was floating in front of the portrait. She kept saying something in her mouth. The souls of all the missing people were trapped here. They were afraid that they would also become one of them. At this time, someone knocked on the door suddenly outside the room. But Abu looked out the window. He didn't see anyone. Annie heard her sister's voice and couldn't wait to open the door, but her companions told her not to be impulsive. The person outside may not be a real person. In the end, Annie still opened the door and went out, but there was nothing outside the door. What was more terrifying was that there was only one room here. I don't know when, a small house suddenly appeared opposite. When Annie woke up, she found that the room was full of strange masks. She suddenly found a figure sitting in front of the TV, but she wasn't sure if it was a person or a ghost. She could only look up and ask. Her palm, which looked like a dry corpse, was still moving. Annie, who didn't dare to stay for one more second, quietly turned around and was ready to escape. But the door was locked and she couldn't open it. When she looked back, the old witch was staring at her. She dragged the oxygen bottle closer to Annie step by step. Say it. The old witch suddenly pulled Annie down and put the oxygen mask in her hand on Annie's face. Not long after, the old witch turned into ashes.